do you believe?
That's going to lead us into our other picks. So I've got 6 games. That's number 1. So I got 5 others. I got a 6-pack of games right here. See, I wrote it down on my
Ooh,
Mike Leach play card.
there you go.
Um, we got 6 other games. I picked a couple conference games. I picked some non-conference games. Some matchups I thought were intriguing. We're going to start Clemson -7 at Wake Forest. Now Wake Forest has Sam Hartman back, so that line probably would have been a lot more had he not been there. Knowing what we know about Wake, knowing what we know about Clemson, is they're still struggling. They really miss Brent Venables. They're really trying to figure out the quarterback situation. If they just put Cade Klubnik in, I think
Hmm.
I think they would cover the spread, but they're not going to do that. They're still stubborn and they want DJ Ongulole. So I'm gonna take Clemson -7. I just think they have the horses in there. I'm not going to put any real money on this. I'm really not sure. I really want to pick Wake, but I don't know. Unless you can talk me into it. What do
I'm
you?
going with Wake. I think Wake's defense can confuse DJ a bit. They're still a little bit defensively, but Wake does, with the slow zone, RPO type stuff that they do. Unless that thing gets hit in the mouth like right at the beginning, it's very confusing. It's very very good at, especially with Hartman coming back and running. With Hartman coming back, I mean that is a game changer in itself. They beat him last, so I'm gonna go with Wake to cover on this.
And it's mostly because you don't think Clemson's offense is going to do anything.
I don't think DJ has it. They're missing some pieces they can't protect up front. I don't know who's calling plays, but it's like the play call is there, but DJ just he's struggling right now. I don't know what it is. He difference between him and Rattler is the fact that DJ understands it. It's just processing slow for him. Is what it looks like. It looks like the game's still a little bit too fast for him. Um, but it's just I don't think their offense can get it done. In my opinion.
You may have convinced me, honestly.
Back, so that offense gonna be coming.
I
I
think
think
you
they
may
let
have
us.
convinced me. Yeah. So, well, Don, so far we've only done 2. We both picked UGA -45, and he picked Wake +7. And well, I took Clemson -7 because I don't know. I'm a glutton for punishment, I guess. I don't know. A game up next is a game that I never thought we'd be picking, but the 3-0. Yeah, you heard that correctly. The 3-0 Kansas Jayhawks, Rock Chalk, 9-point favorites as they host Duke.
I'm I'm taking
Now
that.
this would
Kansas.
this would be yeah.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. I was going to
I
say
said
this
Kansas
is
is
not.
he's doing his job.
Yes.
He's doing a good job, and hell, he is front runner. Well, talks are him. So he's doing something very well. Kansas is 3-0 for the first time in history, I Bleav.
Mm-hmm.
I might be wrong, but since I've been alive, Kansas has not been really good at football. He's got, I mean, 3-0. Can you believe that Kansas
Yeah.
is 3?
Yeah.
It
I
they
I
made
can't believe it.
excuses to each other on the sideline last week. That's how good they are right
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. This is going to be. Yeah. So absolutely, man. I love Kansas -9 in this matchup. They're freaking rolling, man. It's great. It's great to see. And we got a bonus pick here. Don Play in the comments. He wants us to pick Coastal Carolina -2 over Georgia
now.
State.
Ooh.
That's an
Mm.
intriguing one because Georgia State's been playing really, really well defensively, and obviously they've been putting up some points. I mean, they narrowly lost to South Carolina on the road, and
State Atlanta right now.
they really are. It's kind of sad, um, but I think I would still go with Coastal on that one. I don't know, Israel, what you think on that, but I would still kind of go Coastal because I think I have Coastal winning the Sun Belt. So I
Yeah.
think Coastal is just Grayson McCall is. I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in that conference. I think he'll kind of take that thing over.
If this game is in Atlanta, got to go Georgia. If this game is in
I'll tell you
Beach,
exactly where it is.
I got to go with Coastal. They're in Myrtle Beach, right?
Yeah, Coastal is, or they're like close enough to Myrtle Beach where they can consider it Myrtle Beach. But let's see. I'm looking now where that game is being played. According to Betonline, that is actually a Thursday night game. That is at Georgia, as in Atlanta. Georgia State is plus 2.5 in Atlanta.
I'm going Georgia State in Atlanta. That game's going to be deep. All the Georgia Tech people are going to go to that game.
Yep. I'm going to stick with Coastal. I'm going to take Coastal and probably the over. The over is 63.5.
Ooh, that's a lot of points.
So, and Don went 2-0 listening to us. Probably listening to you, but so Don, I'll let you choose who you want to listen to. If you listen to Israel, it won't hurt my feelings. I promise. I just want you to
State, man. I think they're playing good football. Sean has got the rolling. I mean, when you come out in Atlanta across your chest, I mean, it just hits different.
They got that.
So
they got the swag, man. They got the swag. So Don, I just want you to go 3-0, man. I really don't care if I'm just a big believer in Coastal Carolina. I think they, I think McCall, like I said, is and Jamie Chadwell as their head coach. I just think they're dialed in. That doesn't mean Georgia State can't come in there and beat the brakes off of them, because they're certainly capable of it. And I certainly would love it. I would love to have a really good Georgia State team. Being an Atlanta kid myself, so there you go. So I guess you could roll the dice and figure it out. I'm taking Coastal. Israel's taking Georgia State.
Baby.
So
and
we both took Kansas. If you want to win, I mean, I think the lock of this list so far is Kansas. I would go with Kansas. Missouri at Auburn. Auburn's 7-point favorites. As bad as Auburn's playing, Missouri's worse. Like,
it's true.
It's the battle of who's going to get fired first in the SEC. Eli Trinkowitz or Brian Harsin. I mean, they're both really bad teams. Auburn just coming off a slaughtering of Penn State, but they did some good things in that game.
Yes, they played some really good defense. Honestly, they really did. Offensively, so they're out there for a long time. And like we talk all the time, if you leave them out there long enough, things are going to happen. Only reason that I'm going Auburn on this is because I can't wait for them to play us, and we get Harsin the boot. Not that like I said, I'm mirrored it once again. I'm a coach, and I never want anybody to hope that I fired. But I don't think people are happy in Auburn with Coach Harsin. I don't think Coach Harsin's happy at Auburn, and
I think Harsin wants to get fired.
I think our game, just because we don't like Auburn and things like that, I think our game is the one that's going to be the telltale.
Because it's going to be another 48-7 thumping. And it's going to be at home too. That's going to be fun. But yeah, no. And one thing that really annoyed me with Auburn is that damn quarterback shuffle. You get TJ Finley going, and then you put Ashford in for a play. And then Finley comes back and throws a pick. Like, come on, dude, you were rolling.
Yeah,
you were rolling down the field.
Here's my thing. I think you should do it just like Michigan and just like Ole Miss did. Let one guy have a whole game himself, and then see which one does a better job, and then that's the one you roll.
I think they nailed it perfectly.
I think they did.
Michigan won huge with McCarthy. Yeah, they won huge because of it. Because they finally got a guy they can believe in, and Ole Miss the same with Jackson Dart, which I had no doubt that Jackson Dart was going to be the guy because he was superior talent wise. The only thing Altmaier had on him was knowledge of the system, and I think he had a really gritty performance in the Sugar Bowl. But talent wise, he was going to lose out at some point to Jackson Dart. It just was going to happen. It was inevitable. Steve knew it. Steve and I talked about that ad nauseum just knew it was going to happen. If you want to see my breakdowns, we actually on the Locked On Ole Miss channel, we did some breakdowns. I did some breakdowns with him of some of the newcomers. So one of them was Jackson Dart, and the other was not really a newcomer, but he's newish with Luke Altmaier, just kind of doing a quarterback comparison there. So, but needless to say, I'm taking Auburn here -7 because even as bad as they are, they're still a lot better than Missouri. And this will be a good slump buster for Auburn. And Cassidy, Jake will also be rooting for the Dogs. I think this is the only game that Jake will root with you for Georgia because they're playing Auburn.
Absolutely.
And he just loves Auburn. Tell Jake I said War Eagle. Okay. Florida travels to Tennessee. This has become quite the rivalry. A game that Peyton Manning couldn't win for Tennessee. Tennessee, get this. This isn't like when I read this, and this is as of right now. We're recording this. We're live at this moment on a Sunday. According to BetOnline has Tennessee -10.5.
I'm taking it.
-10.5.
Is
Florida struggling? Are they struggling that bad?
Bro, did you go back and watch that South Florida game, dog?
I didn't watch the South Florida game.
Without a couple of turnovers, South Florida might have beat them in the swamp. Honestly, they probably wouldn't have beat them, but it'd been a lot closer.
Okay.
Pick six.
I mean,
the pick six turned.
I mean, this is a home game for Tennessee. They're gonna get juiced up. Hendon Hooker, man, he's a problem. He's a problem.
They're winning. The grass is cut. I mean, Heupel just got a new contract. I mean, extension. So it's going to be a lot of orange in that state.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I'm buying it. I'm buying it. Absolutely. I'm buying it. Now, if this was like week 2, I might have been like, oh, okay, Florida might, no. I'm not. I don't think I was ever on the Florida train, but
they're better.
I do think there was a lot of. They're much improved from last year, but that's not saying a whole lot.
That's a tall task to go into Tennessee and beat them. That's right.
At this moment, at this point in the season, and you're still trying to figure things out. No.
Yeah.
Tennessee 10.5. That might be another easy one. Okay, and our last spread. This is an interesting one because as much as they're struggling, you have the Notebook versus they're hosting the Jukebox. Notebook is 2.5 points favored at home against the Jukebox, and if you have no clue what I'm talking about, it's Texas A&M hosting Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
Turn that damn Jukebox on versus the Notebook, which that's going to be Jimbo's new nickname, the Notebook, because he's the one that carries. He literally carries whatever brand this is. I don't even know what brand this is. Notebook, the spiral bounds that you buy for like $1 at Office Depot.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
The one you can buy like 100 of them for like 10 cents a piece.
Absolutely, taking Arkansas. They're going to be pissed off because they didn't play Arkansas football the whole first half last week.
They played like absolute hog stuff.
Back. I thought they'd be more inspired football, but really around. And they got scared. I don't think they like that very much. I know Sam Pittman wasn't as as he normally is after that. So I'm expecting them to come in with a chip with a pissed mentality, and they're going to Troy, Texas A&M. Because Texas A&M,
I don't think
they can't score points.
No, and a tired defense is going to be a recipe for disaster against KJ Jefferson.
Yes.
In that offense. That offense they're finally starting to figure some things out. And I don't think it was a coaching thing. I just think the team just fell asleep at the wheel.
Yeah.
It damn near crashed into a brick wall.
They came in complacent, after a big game against South Carolina. They come in and they're chilling. They're like, oh, this is just, this team from out west will be all right. Shoot, them boys came out firing. And they got hit in the mouth. Like, oh, they are for real right here.
Okay.
You know,
Guess we're gonna have to.
they finally
to
figured
do
it
it.
out. But I don't think that's going to happen against Texas A&M
No,
because
no,
they're going to be juiced up.
it won't. No, I mean this is a game that they haven't been able to get really. They've come up narrowly short in a lot of instances under Sam Pittman with Texas A&M, and games that they should have and could have won. They didn't. So I think this is going to be a good one for them to get because A&M is struggling offensively. They're going to have an exhausted defense that won't be able to stop KJ Jefferson in the second half, and I think Arkansas will end up rolling. And all Arkansas has to do is win because they're underdogs. So I'm taking the Hogs as well. So as we wrap this thing up, to recap the picks that we have thrown out there, Don, if there's any one of them that you want for us to pick that we didn't cover, go ahead and put that in the chat now, or you can DM us. It doesn't matter. At TroopStar28, at Bleav in Dawgs, at Coach Burton36 on Twitter. UGA minus 45. We both took that one. Clemson minus 7 at Wake. I took Clemson. Israel took Wake. So take your pick there. Duke at Kansas. Kansas minus 9. We both took the Jayhawks there, which I never thought I would take the Jayhawks to go 4-0. But here we are. Missouri at Auburn. Auburn favored by 7. We both took Auburn because we're smart. Florida at Tennessee minus 10.5. Could it happen? Yeah. Could Tennessee only win by 7? Yeah, but they won't. They'll win by 2 scores. Arkansas at A&M. A&M's favored by 2.5. I'm not buying it. And then Coastal. I'm taking Coastal minus 2 at Georgia State on Thursday, and my man Israel here is taking Georgia State plus 2 at the crib. So, if there's any other games that we left out, let us know. We will definitely jump on those.